I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at the Western Conference and I am saying, wow, we have an amazing NBA playoffs ahead of us. The Utah Jazz, the Phoenix Suns, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Denver Nuggets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the Spurs, the Mavericks, and then we're going to have teams competing for play-in games, the Grizz, the Pelicans, the Kings. There's a lot of good basketball ahead of us. I think this is going to be a season to remember when it's all said and done. So many new faces in new places, so many guys that have been looked at negatively for a majority of their career now have a chance to change and control the narrative. These playoffs are going to be good, and I'm not going to let anybody else tell me otherwise. Call me crazy, but I even think the Eastern Conference playoffs are going to be amazing too. You look at the Brooklyn Nets, yeah, they're looking unstoppable. Yeah, they just got LaMarcus Aldridge, but at some point we have to realize the Spurs let LaMarcus Aldridge go for a reason. I gassed him up in my last video because of course he's going to be a great addition to the Brooklyn Nets, but it's not like the Brooklyn Nets just got prime LaMarcus Aldridge that was dropping 20 and 10. If the Nets win a championship, it wouldn't solely be because they got LaMarcus Aldridge. It's because they got guys over there named James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. You could even say LaMarcus Aldridge could cause some trouble in Brooklyn. Steve Nash is a first-time head coach. D'Antoni doesn't like to play defense. There's a reality where Aldridge eats at Nicholas Claxton's minutes and possibly slows his development. Do I think that's likely? No. Is it possible? Yes. And look, guys, I know D'Antoni held down some solid defenses in Houston. I just wanted to say what I said. East is tough. While the Nets are still the favorites to come out, Philly has some great defenders. They're the number 1 seed. The Milwaukee Bucks, also a great defensive team. I don't think that it's crazy to think that the 76ers or Milwaukee Bucks could potentially slow down and beat the Brooklyn Nets. Hey man, I'd even say Miami has the right idea too. If you have a defensive team, I think you have a chance to win any playoff series. This video, we have to talk about Andre Drummond signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. But before we go any further, let's get a word from our sponsor. I want to give a major shout out to the sponsor of our video, Geology. The product is great for people that are new to skincare and even seasoned vets. When it comes to Geology, they have something for everybody. Sensitive skin, acne, dark eye circles, wrinkles, Geology covers it all. All you have to do is take a 30-second diagnostic quiz and Geology figures out the best regimen for you. You guys see right here, we have the everyday face wash. I actually just used this. We also have the repairing night cream, the vital morning cream, and we also have the eye nourishing cream. If you guys love the trial, don't be afraid to continue with the 90-day supply. You're in complete control. Head on over to geology.com by clicking the link located in the description below. Now let's talk hoops. In my opinion, all signs pointed to Andre Drummond signing with the Los Angeles Lakers. I posted a video like a day or two ago that said Andre Drummond was working out in Los Angeles and that he pretty much wanted to be a Laker. Once I saw the concerns over his role and all of that other stuff, I was like, yeah, Andre Drummond going to the Lakers is all but official. I know Drummond to the Celtics got a lot of traction, and with the recent moves they made, he would have been an interesting fit in their offense. But to be honest with you guys, I didn't want anybody going to the Boston Celtics that was going to take minutes away from Robert Williams. There's way too much potential and promise with Robert Williams. I want to see him reach his ceiling. After the Lakers were front runners for a while, Drummond made it pretty much official. Once Drummond clears waivers at 5 p.m., he will sign with the Los Angeles Lakers. His agent Jeff Schwartz of Excel Basketball tells ESPN. Now, when it comes to this Andre Drummond signing, there have been a few really interesting and disturbing takes. Some people were not mad at the Brooklyn Nets getting Blake Griffin and LaMarcus Aldridge, but are mad at the Los Angeles Lakers getting Andre Drummond. To me, that personally does not make a lot of sense, because Andre Drummond is somebody that the Lakers essentially got for free. And when I say for free, I'm speaking relatively. These guys didn't give up any assets. They didn't have to trade anything. The Lakers just signed Andre Drummond. Now, somewhere along the lines, have some of these buyout players became a little bit overrated? Yes, I will not argue that. But in my opinion, Drummond has shown in the past that he can be a beast. I know he's not somebody that advanced stats love, but that's okay because he does not have to be. A lot of Drummond's career, he's ran very hot and very cold. He's been in some really poor basketball situations. I hate to even bring this up being a Pelicans fan, but at one point, he was on a team that tried to start Greg Monroe, Josh Smith, and himself. I'm not even going to look at the numbers, but I'll tell you, those are three of the worst three-point shooters of all time. I honestly can't believe Stan Van Gundy got a head coaching job after some of the things he did in Detroit. In the past, Drummond is somebody that has struggled with knowing their role. But truth be told, I'll never be mad at a player for trying to grow and experiment on a bad team. Drummond is one of those guys that I've wanted to see in a winning situation with a good coach for the longest of times. He gets to play with LeBron James, which by the way is something that he's wanted to do for a very long time. He gets to play alongside Anthony Davis, one of the best defensive players in the league. The Lakers as a whole are one of the best defenses in the league. And Andre Drummond is a player that has a lot of untapped defensive potential. Andre Drummond's a big guy, but when he buys in defensively, he can change games. He knows how to play passing lanes. He is a menace when he's patrolling the paint. And he grabs nearly every rebound in sight when he wants to. 6'11", 7'6" wingspan, 280 pounds. This guy's got seasons of averaging nearly 2 blocks and 2 steals per game. Drummond has been the league leader in rebounding 4 out of the last 5 years. Since Drummond entered the league in 2012-2013, he's had 44 2020 games. The next closest player has 15. In Drummond's first 12 games this season, he put up 19.3 points per game. He averaged 15.8 rebounds per game, 1.7 steals per game, and 1.6 blocks per game. And now Drummond goes from playing with Sexton or Garland or whatever playmakers he was playing with to now playing with one of the best to ever play in LeBron James. I've said this multiple times. I want to see what Andre Drummond could do with an elite playmaker. And now we get the chance to see just that. This Drummond signing is like the Dwight signing, but with much more potential. If anybody is going to get Drummond to buy in and play winning basketball, I'd put my money that it would be LeBron James. The Lakers needed another paint presence, and they got a big one. Schroeder, KCP, Bron, AD, Drummond. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have the Lakers coming out of the Western Conference. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.